Okay, today we will begin with numericals related to electric field. So there are 2 point charges Q and 4Q at a distance d, and you have to find a point where the field is 0. So let Q and 4Q be 2 point charges. Okay, we know there cannot be a field line directed from positive to positive charge. So there is a point somewhere in between them where the field is 0. So select a point, let it be at a distance x from Q. So the remaining distance will be d minus x. Imagine a test charge Q0. So there are 2 fields at this particular point. Field due to this positive charge directed away. I'll call this as E due to Q. And because of 4Q, there is a field in opposite direction. This is the direction of field due to 4Q. So equate the 2 fields. Magnitude of field produced by the charge Q should be equal to the field produced by the charge 4Q. And we know for a point charge, it is kq by r square. So for small q, it is k into small q by x square. That should be equal to k into 4q due to charge 4q by d minus x whole square. Now equate them. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught gets cancelled. Q also gets cancelled. Applying square root on both sides. 1 by x is 2 by d minus x, implies d minus x is 2x, therefore 3x is d. So we get x as d by 3 from Q. Okay, answer can also be written as, if it is at a distance d by 3 from Q, it will be at a distance d minus d by 3, that is 2d by 3 from 4Q. In the previous question, the charges were both positive, 4 and Q and 4Q. Now one is a positive charge and the other one is a negative charge. Now we need to find out a point where the field is 0. So let this be a 10 microcoulomb, and here we have minus 40 microcoulomb. So the field will not be 0 along in between the charges. So I already told you in forces, select a point outside the system close to 10 microcoulomb. That means somewhere here. And let this distance be x. It is already given as 1 meter. Now find out the 2 fields acting at this particular point. Field due to positive charge is away from positive. If you imagine a test charge, it will try to move away. This is a field due to 10 microcoulomb. Another field due to 40 microcoulomb, it is attractive. So this is a field due to 40 microcoulomb. Now equate the magnitudes. Field due to 10 microcoulomb charge must be equal to the magnitude of field due to 40 microcoulomb. It's K, charge is 10. I'm not converting the unit. Distance is x square. Should be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 40 divided by, from 40 till this particular point, distance is 1 plus x. So 1 plus x whole square. Apply square root. 1 by x is 2 by 1 plus x, or 1 plus x is equal to 2x, implies x is 1 meter from 10 microcoulomb or 2 meter from 40 microcoulomb, that is minus 40 microcoulomb. Okay, it's given that 10 and minus 10 microcoulomb are at 0, 3 and 0, minus 3, and we need to determine the field at 4, 0. So first locate the charges in the coordinate system. So one charge is on y-axis at 3 meter distance. Here we have 10 microcoulomb. And below this we have another 10 microcoulomb, but it is negative. And we need to find the field at 4 meter distance along x-axis. So this is a point where we need to find out the electric field. So first identify the direction of the two electric fields. due to plus 10 and minus 10 microcoulomb. Imagine a test charge Q naught. It would repel due to this positive charge, so the field is directed away. This is the field due to the charge, that is 10 microcoulomb. But due to minus 10 microcoulomb, this charge would be attracted. So this is the field due to minus 10 microcoulomb. And now we have two fields, both are equal in magnitude. I will write the magnitude here. Field due to 10 microcoulomb or due to minus 10 microcoulomb, both are equidistant. It would be kq by r square is the formula. K, charge is 10 micro, we'll put the value of k at the end, by the distance. See, this is 3 meter and horizontal distance is 4. Obviously this would be 5 from Pythagoras theorem. So 5 square, that is 9 into 10 to the power 9. 10 into 10 power minus 6, that will be 10 power minus 5, divided by 25, leave it as it is, 9 by 25 into 10 to the power 4 Newton per coulomb. Call this as equation 1. Now we have to use vector law of addition or resolve these vectors into components. If I resolve this E into components, we'll get two components. For that we have to take the angles. Okay, let this angle be theta. So this also would be theta. Theta, split E into components. This is E cos theta and here we have E sin theta. Similarly, even due to minus 10 microcoulomb, if you divide them into components, cos theta would be this side and sin theta component will act down. The two cosine components are getting cancelled. So the net field is only due to sine components acting downward. So the total field acting at the point P would be 2 into E into sin theta. And direction is downward, so I will give minus j cap. Put the values. 2, E we have already calculated, it is 9 by 25 into 10 to the power 4. Now replace sin theta. So from this triangle, sin theta is opposite by hypotenuse, that is 3 divided by 5. So your answer would be 9 to 18 into 3 by 25 into 25, 125 into 10 to the power 4 Newton per coulomb. On further simplification, you can write it as 54 by 125 into 10 to the power 4 Newton per coulomb. Now in this question, we have a linear charge distribution. That means charge is distributed throughout the length of a substance or a body. And you need to find the force experienced by this charge Q and all the remaining charges. For such type of continuous charge distribution, we need to use integration method. So for that, first select a small element of this conductor whose length is dx and the charge on it is dq. So we know because charge is uniformly distributed along the length, lambda remains constant, that means charge per length remains constant. Total charge by total length would be small charge divided by small length. Okay, I have taken the small length as dx. From this we get dq is equal to q by L into dx. Call this as equation 1. And now I will find out the force between these two charges, that is dq and q. Take this distance as x. So since we are finding only due to a force of this small amount of charge, we will write it as df, which is k, q1, q2. One charge is q, another charge is dq divided by, okay, I'll make it as q naught so that you won't confuse. Let this be q naught. Even in the question, a point charge q naught. Okay, divided by, and the distance is x square. So df would be k 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q naught. Replace this dq. dq is q by L into dx divided by x square. And now we have got df, the force between a small charge and Q naught. But we want the total force. For that we need to integrate the relation. What will be the limits of our integration? Look at this distance x. Lower limit, it is starting from small l till this end, that is L plus small l. So that net force would be obtained by integration. Limits would be x is varying from minimum limit small l, maximum distance is L plus L. From small l to L plus L, k is a constant, Q naught constant, capital Q constant, L constant, into dx divided by x square. Remove all the constants outside. K, Q, Q naught by L comes out. We still have to integrate dx divided by x square. So F will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Q naught by L I have written outside. Now we will integrate this relation. Integral of x to the power minus 2 into dx from small l to L plus L. Or F would be Q naught by 4 pi epsilon naught L. X power minus 2 integral is x to the power minus 2 plus 1 by minus 2 plus 1, that is minus 1 by x. And the limits varying from L to L plus L. Substitute the limits, we will get the answer as Q naught by 4 pi epsilon naught L, first upper limit, minus lower limit. So your answer would be this, and you can go for further simplification. So there are 2 point charges, okay, at 0 comma A and 0 comma minus A. Okay, take the 2 charges as Q each. Both of them are on y-axis, and you need to find a point along x-axis where the field is maximum. So to begin with, first let us give the representation. Okay, let this be Q, which is at a distance 0 comma A at a point, and another similar charge is at a point 0 comma minus A. So we need to find a point where the field is maximum. First select a point which is at a distance x on x-axis. This is your x-axis. And we will find out the field at this point. So keep a test charge Q naught. We know Q naught is repelled by this Q. So there is one force directed away. Another field is also directed away. Let this angle be theta. Theta, even this would be theta and theta. I'll call the field as E and E. We know both are having the same magnitude, so I'll write the magnitude here. K due to this charge Q by, let this distance be R. So this is X, this distance is A, hypotenuse is R, so I will write it as R square. On simplification, you get KQ by R square would be A square plus X square. Now when I resolve this E into components, horizontal component is E cos theta, vertical is E sin theta. Similarly, even for this I get another E cos theta and E sin theta. Sin theta components would anyway get cancelled. The net field is only due to cosine components. So E at the point P would be 2E cos theta along I cap if you write it in vector form. Now put the value of E. Field at the point E is 2 K constant, Q constant, A square plus X square. Substitute the value of cos theta from this triangle. Cos theta is X divided by R. That's nothing but X divided by root over A square plus X square. So we have got that net field at the point P as 2KQ into X by A square plus X square whole to the power half plus 1 would be 3 by 2. Call this as equation 1. But the question is, when is this field, at what distance is the field maximum? To get the maximum, we have to differentiate this relation. Field will be maximum when dE by dx becomes 0. So let us see how to differentiate this function. Okay, so this was EP. Now to get the maximum field, dE by dx should be equated to 0. So now I am going to differentiate this function. It's a double function. X is one term and a square plus x square whole power 3 by 2 is another term. So let's see how to differentiate it. D by dx of 2 constant, kq constant, I'll write it as x into a square plus x square whole to the power minus 3 by 2. Remove the constants outside. Anyway, it has to become 0. 2 kq will come out. Now differentiate it. First function is x into differential of this function is minus 3 by 2 a square plus x square whole to the power minus 3 by 2 nx to the power n minus 1 into again differential of a square plus x square. Differential of a square is anyway 0 plus differential of x square is 2x. I repeat, first function into differential of second plus second function. Okay, second function is a square plus x square whole to the power minus 3 by 2 into differential of x is anyway 1, has to become 0. Since both terms have a square plus x square whole power 3 by 2, here also we have 3 by 2, equated to 0, and even this is going to 0. We are left with 2x and 2 will get cancelled. X into x, x square and minus 3. So minus 3x square. Out of a square plus x square whole power 3 by 2 minus 1, this has already gone to 0. So we have still a square plus x square whole to the power minus 1 in the first term plus 1 should be 0. So simplify it. 3x square by a square plus x square should be 1, or 3x square is a square plus x square, or 2x square equals to a square, implies x should be a divided by root 2. So when x is equal to a by root 2, this is the point where the field would be maximum. So in this question, there are infinite number of charges, each of magnitude q, which are placed at positions 1, 2, 4, 8 and so on, and you need to find the field at origin. So assume that this is your x-axis, origin. We have to calculate the field here. A charge q is at x equal to 1 meter, then 2 meter, 4, 8 and so on. Now all are like charges q. So the total field at origin would be vector sum of all the fields produced by these charges. So write the equation, the net field due to first charge, because all are directed away from it towards negative x-axis. So due to q, it is kq by 1 square plus k into q by second charge is at a distance 2 meter, 2 square plus k into q by 4 square, and the series will continue up to infinity. So the net field at origin would be, take out k and q outside, it's 1 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 16 and so on. So this is a geometric progression, and use the formula for sum up to infinity. It's k into q. Sum up to infinity is a by 1 minus r, where a is the first term which is equal to 1. R is the common ratio of second term to first term, that's 1 by 4. Even third to second, answer would be the same. So put the values a by 1 minus 1 by 4, and that comes out to be kq into 1 by 3 by 4, or nothing but 4 by 3 times of k is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q, which is 4q by 4 you can cancel, q by 3 pi epsilon naught. And now coming to the second bit, what is the answer if alternate charges are negative? Alternate charges are negative means if first charge is positive, next is negative, again positive and negative. If the charge is positive, field is away. If this is negative charge, field will be directed towards positive x-axis. Here all the fields are in the negative x direction, so I can write it as minus I cap. But in that case, one field is away from axis, another is towards. So when you write the vector addition, the net field would come out to be k into q. First one is 1 in I cap, negative I cap direction. Next one would be opposite to it. So this term becomes minus 4. Alternately you get negative signs. Minus 1 by 32 and so on into minus I cap. So just like the previous question, use the same term sum up to infinity, but common ratio would become minus 1 by 4. So when common ratio becomes minus 1 by 4, modify the relation. E at this particular point P would be k into q, 1 by 1 minus of minus plus 1 by 4. I'll keep the direction minus I cap. So that is nothing but 1 plus 1 by 4 is 5 by 4. Reverse the fraction, 4 kq by 5 minus I cap. You can put the value of k 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught and then simplify.